Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I am going to show you what I do on my day off from work during the weekend, of how I try to relax and trying to have a cozy weekend. So today I just created a bit of ambiance in my room by burning one of these wax melts that I bought off Etsy. And honestly it smells so good and it smells like true autumn. As it was early in the morning, I decided to do some reading. At the moment I am still reading Cackle and I'm really enjoying the book at the moment. It's definitely not something I thought it would be, and it's actually quite dark and twisted, and it's kind of a testament of starting new friendships and actually finding out those friendships aren't something that you thought they would be. And it definitely has a autumn / spooky vibe to it. And then Jet decided to join me on my bed and wanted some snuggles and a bit of a play. After reading and playing with Jet for about an hour, I decided to get dressed and wear one of my favourite jumpers that I bought off Etsy, which I'll leave in the link in the description below. And I decided to go and pick some apples from our garden and to make these apple ring pastries that I had seen on TikTok. So you'll need just a couple of handfuls of apples, depending on how many you want to make. You want to peel and slice your apples. The way I decided to get holes was to use the top of a wine bottle lid, or you can use a beer lid, and this gets you a nice big enough hole to be able to then weave your pastry in and out of it. I just bought store-bought pastry as I didn't really have the time to make my own puff pastry. You can cut it into thin strips, as you can see here, it is a bit difficult to thread the puff pastry in and out of the apple slices. To make quite a few of these slices, and honestly it did take me over an hour to be able to thread all the pastry in and out of the apples, so it is a bit time consuming but it's also quite therapeutic. In the background I decided to listen to some music as well as a couple of podcasts that I really like. So once you have all of your apples on a baking tray, you need to mix some brown sugar and then some cinnamon together, and this is what you're going to dust over your apples with. You then want to have some melted butter and make sure you brush over all of your pastries with it, as this will help not only to crisp the puff pastries but also when you need to dust your sugar / cinnamon mixture on top of them. So instead what I did is I just got each pastry and dipped it into the bowl, as I found this to be a bit more easier than just sprinkle it all across the pan. And then you want to put them into the oven and I put it into my small oven for about 160 degrees Celsius. And this is how they turned out. They turned out very crisp and golden and quite gooey on the inside as well. I decided to just dust more of the cinnamon sugar top. And now it's time to work on my journal for a little bit and to catch up. This is something that I am trying to do a bit more often. And so when it comes to the weekend, I find it much easier to be able to catch up with what I've done throughout the week. I also like to set myself up by watching a film or a podcast that has a video footage with it. And so I decided to watch a film on Disney Plus, and I started to watch Grotesque, and it's quite a gruesome murder mystery TV show. I thought that's quite perfect ambience for a kind of gloomy, miserable autumn day, even though I still quite like the atmosphere of it outside. So now I am still working on my painting. It's still not quite finished just yet, as I haven't really had the time to finish it or complete it. However, I will post about it on my Instagram page, so make sure you follow my Instagram, which is down in the description below. And so I'm just adding some more orange to the leaves, as well as trying to add some more pumpkins into the background and foreground. I'm just adding some simple shapes, and later on I'll go over it with a bit more detail. Whilst I was painting, I've been listening to an audiobook called The Bell Witches, and it's a book set in Savannah, Georgia, in the United States. And we follow a character who, her parents had died, and she goes home to her grandmother, and she discovers that she's a witch. It's quite a slow book. I'm on chapter 23 of it at the moment, and she doesn't really discover that she's a witch until chapter 19 or chapter 20. So it's quite a slow book. It's quite a nice book as well, because there's quite a few historical facts in it. So it develops a lot of the world, as well as getting a bit of an insight to the history of Savannah. I would recommend this book if you're someone who likes the sort of magic / dark academia / YA romance books. It's just a nice, easy book to listen to rather than to read, I think, personally. But I am debating to buy the book as a hard copy and to also annotate it as well, maybe. So here, as you can see, I am trying to paint the moon onto my picture. And if you can remember from last time, this was a day scene. It has proven quite difficult to turn it from a day to night scene. So what I tried to do here with the leaves, that you might be able to tell, is I lightened the edges / blended the edges, so it looks like the moonlight is hitting the trees, and then I try to spread the colour outwards. So I've gone quite light around the moon, and then as I go outside of the picture, I try to go a bit darker to make sure it gives that the correct colour distribution from dark to light, and the light areas that need to be there. I also decided to add a few more stars to the night scene, just to split up the page a bit more, and so that it doesn't look as bleak when you're looking at it. So I just want to thank you for watching this week's video. I know it's not a chatty video compared to a few of them, with me speaking in the video, but I thought it would just be a nice, relaxing video to watch, a bit more of a visual than audio type of content, and I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please comment down below if you've reached this far. If you have reached this far, then you are probably in the top 1% who has made it to the end of the video, and leave a autumnal emoji, I would say. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please like, comment, subscribe and share, and I shall see you in the next one.